All right, so in the last video, we looked at customers. Those are the people you sell to. And now in the same case of leads, who are the potential customers who are not yet converted. So we'll be looking at how to manage those leads in 390. So leads can come from a lot of sources, and your business uniquely know where you get your leads from. And in any case, if you need to add a lead on 390, it's just starting by clicking on the add leads button or lead button. It's the same way. However, in this case, it's the same way as customer, if you can remember the interface. In this case, I would use an organization so that we could see how organizations work in our CRM. So let's say for the lead, let's call it special organization. All right. And organization email, let's say hello.special@390.me. Then phone number, we could leave that empty, or you could decide to put anything. Status is, so now the difference is there's the status field where you can see whether this lead is new, contacted, interested, won, or lost. And let's say it is new. And source is, remember the sources that we checked earlier. Let's say it was a cold email. We decided that here. Then the labels, we've not defined labels yet for the leads. So we'll leave that empty as well. Then the country, we can decide which country this particular lead is from. Let's say this lead is from Abuja, and the city, they don't have that there, then you add the lead. Okay, in doing that, this is the lead interface. It's the same as the customer's interface, just with one change or two changes. One of them is deals. There's now the inclusion of this deal, and there is that contact as well, which you saw earlier from organization part of customer. I will not be touching tasks or notes, but it's the same thing where you could just choose any of these things in case you had a call or a cold email that you sent and you needed to update all of that in record. If there's a task you need to create regarding this lead that you need to log, let's say call or remind, or let me just say call, let's say book a demo, and you assign it to myself. And let's say that's to do the label, remember the task label one. Then let's say I need to do that by next Monday, and the time is say 3 p.m. And I create that task. So that task is already here to help the customer, or rather the lead, book a demo. And for the contacts, because this is special organization, let's add a few people. Let's call this Abraham Adesonya, for example. And let's say this is abraham@gmail.com. We're not sending an email to this because I know it might be a spam email. And phone number could be, let me still use 390's official number, and I add that contact. So now that is a contact that we have within this organization. If I need to send them an email, I just need to click on the mail and the email client will pop up automatically. I don't have any registered on the system yet, but it would. And if I'm on mobile and I click on this, it will tell me whether I need to call them and I need to pick an app. The same way the email also works, but email is going to spin up a mail client on my PC, and I don't need that, so I'll close that. All right, and that works too for customers. You could just click on the mail to send them the email directly. And I think this mail works in the same vein as well. Just click on that and to open the email client to send. And you could change the status here at any point in time from new to contacted to interested, depending on what the current status of the lead is. And if I go back to mine, because this lead was assigned to me, you can see now that that status is now here, which is contacted and cold email. So in a very long list, you can easily just look at your lead pipeline and know which of the leads rather are in what status. And you could also see the icon here to help you know that this is an organization. If it's a person, human, one person, you would see that the other way. And the same vein where you can search all of your leads, we covered this in the CRM in the customers part and export that as well. And analytics, we covered that earlier. And the analysis here is sort of like changed, or we have an extra input, which is for statuses. And now it tells us all of the leads that we've contacted, how many of them are new. When you have a lot of data here, it can help you easily segment all of this and to arrange it based on the highest number of statuses to the lowest. And you can change this based on the time frame to know how many leads you got in a certain time frame. All right, we help you do all of those organization. We looked at the arrangement of states and cities and all of that. Then sources as well. How many came in through cold emails and how many of them are in several labels. So for states, for settings are the same. Remember I said the CRM sources are the same for all the leads, customers, and suppliers. The leads labels are different from the customer's label, so you can define your leads label here depending on what labels you have within your business. Then lead statuses also is where you define, these are the ones we generated for you by default when you signed up on 390 or when you created this organization. You could choose to add more statuses here as you will, and you could also click on this moving icon just to be able to rearrange this status. This also works for customers. You could rearrange this as well as you will at any point in time, then change the colors for anyone. We currently we have a lot of statuses we use internally in 390. So you could create as much as you'd like. Yeah, when you're done, just hit the save changes button down here and you should have that change reflected. So for deals have their labels. I'll show you how deals work. And we already covered the task statuses because the task statuses for leads can also or are always different from that from customers because in real life usage, the customer support mostly handle the customer section. So the statuses for the tasks are always customer centric, like callback, send an email, check in, all of those kinds of stuff. But for leads can have different task statuses. Maybe I need to send a demo and maybe it's in progress or a couple of things like that, but I could still use the same one and labels the same way. It cuts across CRM generally. All right. And so if I come back, the last I wanted to show you here is deals. So if I need to create a deal for this customer, I just need to come here and click new deal. And in doing that, I just need to say, let's say they want premium, or let's say premium package. And the label, remember, we've not created deals label, so we leave that empty. They want the premium package with some discounts. And if you add the label here, or rather the items, then you can now decide to pick from the products and services in the business. And when you're done, just add the item here and you would have all of those. So because we've not added products and services yet, so this would not be done, but you can test it out on your end when you have your products and services and you have to create deals for this business. I'm taking everything from start of the creating the organization to the end. So I might not have covered some things beforehand. All right, so this is how leads work. And if there are comments that you need to add, just to drop the comment here on the lead, you could just easily do that. This is a comment, and this would always be on this person's profile. And you could, when you have other people, tag other people in your business here. So I can tag my assistant and say anything that I want on this particular comment. So it is not a note, it's not a comment, or it's not a note, it's not a contact, it's a comment I need to give and I can send. And when I do that, my assistant on the other end will get notified. Yeah, okay, I already logged out this account. I'll log back in the next video and I'll show you all of that in the next account. All right.